Listen, listen. I can't even tell you all how tired I am of failed subpoenas, incomplete subpoenas, folks being served that ain't really being served. It's just ridiculous. If you're going to go to court and you're going to sue somebody, sue them. Don't play with them. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. Listen, this is my review for Real Housewives of Atlanta season 15 reunion part 1. This is the reunion. This is part 1. And yeah, we going to court. Everybody going to court. You all know that. Drew going to court for a divorce. Kenya going to court because she been going to court for the last how many years with her divorce. All this court and failed attempts and subpoena gate, child. Anyway, listen, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about all of it. Let's start with the fashions. You probably all know, because those of you who've been with me for a while, you already know I get excited about the whole fashion thing. I get excited about putting on your good stuff, with your gowns on and coming on through. So when it releases, when the looks get released early, I'll be on it. Y'all ain't heard nothing from me, right? So you knew then that I was not impressed with the looks. So I'll say that before we even get started. My favorite look of all of them, I would have to say, was Marlo. I'm going to say that Marlo was best dressed, even though later on in the reunion, Kenya said she was looking like Mrs. Roper from off of Three's Company. That was a good one. That really was. That was a good one, because Miss Roper used to wear those little shifts and caftans and things. She did, but they also, they were in mahogany. So I mean, that whole style, because it's like a Grecian style that she actually wore, is fabulous, and it looked really good on Marlo. Marlo's tall, she's a taller girl, so it worked. It worked. I thought she looked great. I really did. I thought she looked great. I liked her hair. Nothing was overdone. She had the feathers. She had the beads. She had everything that everybody else had going on, but it was tastefully done, in my opinion. And it's an old classic glamour style. So perfect. So I was here for it. That was my best dress, was Marlo. And let me say this, Kandi. Kandi's dress, it took me a while, because I seen these looks like maybe a week or two ago. So it's taken me a while. I keep seeing it. And I kept saying something about this dress I don't like. Something about it, I don't like it. I couldn't really put my finger on what it was. So the fact that it was short was different. So that was cool. That was fine. It looked nice. That length would look nice on Kandi. I figured it out watching the show, what the issue was for me with that dress. With it being, it's like more of the whitish or the silverish color on the outside, and then the teal is in the middle. It makes these areas look bigger, and it pulls this area in. So right in between her breasts, you have this teal rhinestoning, and it's literally, it's like it's pushing her boobs off. So it looks like her boobs are sitting far out on the sides. So it made her boobs look bigger, and it looked like they were part of it. Just, I don't know. Something about the proportions of that beading, it bothered me. But when you actually get up and they were zooming up on it, the beading on the dress is gorgeous. Like there's so much intricate beadwork and rhinestones, really, really gorgeous. But when you pan back and you look, there's even like little fringes. I don't like that. Everything here could just go. The rest of the dress was fine. The fit was good. Kandi's hair was nice. Makeup was cool. It's just that this portion, that center front rhinestone and teal, If it would have all been silver, it probably wouldn't have bothered me. Something about it, that color in between there, made everything else look bigger, and it pushed it far apart. I just didn't like it. It just didn't work well in my eyes. Just didn't work well. So that's that. I will say one of my favorite looks is from a friend of the show, which is Mariana. I love the fact that she did the jumpsuit, and the jumpsuit was teal, and it was absolutely beautiful, and it fit really good till I got done. I literally was going to give Mariana my best dress, but Mariana's not a housewife, so she's a friend of the show. But I couldn't give her best dress because as I ended up seeing more pictures, and I thought it looked kind of funny when she was sitting down. They're too long. They're too long. All this expensive garment, and nobody hemmed it. The legs are too long. When I see that, what it looks like to me is like you done borrowed it and you got to send it back. So that just kind of turns me off from the garment, because like, who cares about a borrowed garment? So that kind of turned me off when I seen that. The pants just needed to be hemmed. If they'd have took, and I mean, it wasn't like a little bit, they missed it. No, it was a missed opportunity. There was literally like 2 inches that could have been cut off of the bottom of those pants. So, but other than that, but I love everything except for the hem. Everything else was perfect. And it's hard to fit a jumpsuit. If people who sew, y'all know what I'm talking about. It's hard to get a perfect fit on a jumpsuit. It really is. And Mariana was wearing the hell out of that jumpsuit. Just the hem. The hem bothered me real bad. Her hair was not. Mariana looked sharp. She really did. She looked sharp. Sonia, it was nothing but a long t-shirt. A long sequin t-shirt. I was like, okay. But we ain't even gonna mess with Sonya because she's pregnant. And that's the best thing about Sonya right now. She's pregnant. We just gonna be happy for her, and we're gonna leave that at that. But fashion-wise and all, she missed the opportunity with this one. There's plenty of fashions that you can get and be pregnant and be stunning. That was just, it just looks like a t-shirt, just like a sequin t-shirt made long. That's all. I wasn't feeling that at all. And then her color, she was more blue than everybody else. Everybody else is like sea foam, and it's leaning toward the greens. It's going toward the green. It's blue, a lot of blue, but very aquatic. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, baby, that's straight up blue. It kind of stuck out. Let's talk about Courtney. Courtney had one of the baddest dresses up there, and she's not a housewife. But Courtney's dress literally had like the most drama that was done correctly, because other than her, I would say the most drama would have been Kenya. But Kenya's dress, I don't like it. It was so much drama until it was literally overdone. It was overdone. It went all the way to, it looked like she was in a costume. It looked like she's on her way to Carnival. And I hated it. I hated that, she did the underneath side of the boob showing. I didn't like that at all. I didn't think that looked cute at all. It really looked like somebody holding you tight and your boobs pushing out from the bottom. It didn't look like it felt comfortable. It just looked real bound. I don't know. And the more they zoomed in on it, I kept looking at it and looking at the fabric and the finishes, and I was like, no. And them feathers wasn't helping nothing that was going on. It was just too much. The hair, I didn't like that hair either. But that's my own personal thing. If you're going to look, all the wigs, you're Kenya Moore hair care. Kenya Moore hair care. If you want a hairstyle, Kenya, that is shorter than your real hair, put a wig on, because you had one on anyway. Put a wig on and have it cut. Have it cut. Why are we making a hairstyle where the hair is extremely long and then trying to wave it and then teasing it and spritzing it to death to keep it up to that length? Because if you pour some water on that hair of Kenya, if somebody poured water on Kenya's hair, it would fall down and she would be looking like the Little Mermaid. That hair is long as hell. And why you put a long piece of hair on that you really want to hit you here, just get a wig and put it on. You got them. Put a wig on. I can't stand it when they do that. I don't understand that for the life of me. Cut it. Cut it. If that's the length you want, cut it. But when you tease it and roll it and pin it and trying to keep it, that just looks bad to me. And it just did. It just looked bad. It looked like bad style, and it looked heavy, and it looked hot. I didn't like it. I didn't care for that at all. Not at all. None. That one's a miss, Kenya. And I usually like Kenya's. Kenya be short a lot of times. I ain't like that. I didn't care for that too much. Sheree, prom. It's a prom dress. It's a prom dress. And a prom dress at a Catholic school. It wasn't bad. And it fit her nice naturally. It fit her nice. And the color actually looks good on Sheree. But it was a prom. And then you got a ponytail. Old I Dream of Jeannie ponytail. It didn't give me woman in her 50s. It gave me prom, senior prom. That's what it gave. And then at that one point where you was jumping up, giving Kandi, girl, you could never, this, that, and the other. I'm like, you ain't even clean like that today, ma'am. Have a seat. Have a seat. You were cleaner at some of the parties they threw during the season than you are now jumping up in somebody's face talking about they could never. Could never what? Kandi got plenty of prom gowns at her house. You better get into it. Anyway, moving on. Moving on. Who else? Who did I leave out? Oh, Drew. Drew Sidor. Drew, I'll give you this. This is the best that you've looked. It's the best that you looked. Too much fabric though. All that train, you ain't need that. You didn't even need the flare at the bottom. Everything you had going on at the top with the sleeves for you would have been fine. You didn't need any of that extra fabric hanging around. That is just too much. It's too much. It looked like you playing in the sheet at the bottom. But I'll give you, it's the best that you've looked. It's one of your better looks. Definitely one of your better looks. And your hair looks nice because she's the queen of bad wigs. Because we didn't sing Drew, we didn't caught her a couple times, wig line showing. She looked nice. Everything looked nice, makeup good and everything. But yeah. So I think that's it. I think I covered everybody. Yeah, we covered everybody. Okay, so let's move on to what really went down. Okay, so not a whole bunch. Sonya, like I said, Sonya's pregnant. The baby's due on Christmas Day. Let's talk about this subpoena. They asked Kenya about the marriage with Mark, and were they done? Is the divorce finished? No, the divorce is not finished, and Mark is actually coming for her now, and basically trying to get her charged for like not doing right by Brooklyn. And one of the situations was brought up was like saying that she put Brooklyn in some type of danger when Marlo was kicking on the door when they were on that vacation. So Kenya, she thought she was turning it out when she told Marlo, Marlo said something to her, and then she said, yeah, well, you could tell Mark and the judge all about that in court because you're being subpoenaed. And then she called herself serving her with the subpoena, and it wasn't nothing but it was blank. It was a blank subpoena. It blew up in her face, and she has Andy to thank for it. See, if Andy never said nothing, we would have knew no different until Marlo came out on social media trying to debunk what was going on. But I don't know why you thought that was going to go over there, because when you hand it to her, if you handed it to her, don't you think she'd have realized that it was blank? It wasn't all filled in properly. I don't know. It was just so corny. It was corny to me. Ain't nothing worse than somebody they gonna bust you down with a court hearing and where's the serving? Where's the subpoena? Classic fail. Bump. First thing you got to do when you suing somebody is to let them know that you're suing them. Next. Anyway, that was a mess. That was a mess. So that was all for nothing. And I was like, that was corny. Then we had Kandi and Sheree start going at it. That was a whole mess. Like they going back and forth. And well, it was Sheree. Sheree kicked it off, because it all started up about her business and this, that, and the other. She go right back at Kandi. Right back at Kandi. I don't know why, Sheree. When it comes to business, you can't do nothing with Kandi. No matter what happens, somebody got shot at the restaurant. Now that's getting old. That's getting old. We've covered that Kandi ain't got nothing to do with that. That's all getting very, very old. And it's on and on and on about nothing. Really, it's really about nothing. And you don't have nothing. Then you pulled up stuff about tags. But tags is still in business. Tags is still selling. Tags is still turning a profit. So where's the read? Like, I'm like, you're making yourself look crazy. You're literally making yourself look crazy. And then she had this whole little pamphlet done, like a news bulletin, talking about, what was it called? I wrote it down. She News. That's what it was. She News. Like, Sheree, stop. That would have worked. Listen, go on down to YouTube and go on over to the beef sector with that. That would have worked over there. Child, they would have ate it up. They'd have ate that up. But up on Bravo, no. So they had a couple more things to say back and forth about each other. Then Kandi said, girl, please. Then she busts out and brings out this bag. And by the way, that bag, did y'all like that bag? The color was bad. I didn't like the color of the bag. And then the bag itself looked like a fake Louis Vuitton. Like the little stuff that was embossed in it. I was like, that looked like a knockoff Louis Vuitton. I was like, no, I didn't like that. But she was bringing the bag for Drew because Drew, that was, she thought she was turning it because Drew kept on saying that she didn't get the bag. She wanted the bag. She didn't get the bag, so she won't bring her the bag. But then she gave it to Kandi to open it because inside there was a scene cracker in there. So that said, and scene. So you throwing digs at their friendship when Kandi said something about Drew and it made Drew feel some kind of way. So, I mean, I see what angle you was making, but again, it was bump. And Kandi came right on back and said, girl, who's helping you with your reads this season? I said, oh, wow. I said, okay. But, now Kandi, what you was throwing wasn't landing no better either, except for when you hit her with the face. Because the little stuff she was throwing, she by Sheen, and okay, that's getting old too. Like the whole exchange was kind of corny. It really was. And she did hit her when she told her, she said, girl, she said, what? You about somebody getting shot at my restaurant? She gonna say, oh yeah, well, girl, you got all your shots in your face. I said, oh, now that kind of hit. And the only reason why that hit is because Sheree, you sat over there and lied. I thought she was lying. What do y'all think? When they asked her about her new look, and she gonna say, oh, I had to get some work done on my sinuses, and I told the doctor to just go ahead and tweak my nose a little bit. Girl, if you don't stop that goddamn lying, tweak shit. You went in there and got your face done. Period. Ain't no tweak, ain't no twerk, ain't no sinus correction, ain't none of that. I don't believe none of that. You went up in there and threw your face on the table and said, fix me up, honey. Fix me up, Dr. Frankenstein. And then you came on back. And I still don't like the look. I still don't like the look. I thought she looked better before. It looks plastic and fake. I said, girl, I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. That's what it's given. Wrapped in plastic. So fantastic. I don't like that at all. Come on, Barbie. Let's go party. I don't like that. Sheree had to do that. She didn't need that at all. You were fine, just like you were. You were fine. You were fine. But I guess if you did it for you, if a plastic look is in, then so be it, girl. But me personally, I don't understand. I don't understand. I mean, everybody got something about them that they like to fix, but I definitely ain't trying to come back looking like Annabelle. You know, like that's crazy. Anyway, moving on. So that little exchange was, I was like, okay, whatever. She also said that she quit Martell. Um, I can see that. I can see you not messing with him because he stays in a lot of stuff, and it's always him and women after him, and then it's like it ain't reciprocated. He don't talk about you on his show, but you made a whole storyline about him on your show. So I can see girl leaving him alone because we've been laughing. We've been laughing about the whole thing. Um, oh, the other thing, see, Andy. One day somebody gonna drag Andy on the show while it's going. I don't know that we would ever get to see it because you know Andy shady. Andy would probably cut it, but somebody gonna drag Andy one day because he turned around and said, "You have an interesting relationship with Bills." I said, "If that was so shady," and that's the worker. That's how the thing got started between Kandi and Sheree because she used that as a segue to attack Kandi. But the person that had jugged you was Andy. So she came at Kandi because she couldn't go at Andy. I said, a hot mess. Okay, so Sheree and Marlo. Sheree and Marlo was over there throwing shots when they talked about the movie. They were talking about the movie with Drew being in the movie for Kandi and Todd. And they over there counting her pockets. And they's like, was the pay great? Because she said, well, how was the movie? You know, Andy asked Drew, how was filming the movie? She said, oh, everything was great. And so, was the pay great? Then she said, I heard she made $10,000. And Kandi said, we paid her more than $10,000. I was like, why are they actually, I mean, they really throwing out numbers. I said, wow, tacky. Why do y'all care? And the read was really on Drew and Andy being shady again. He threw that right up at her. Yeah, you said that you ain't want to do no more small productions, this, that thing. And Candy's like, girl, good luck. I said, oh. Just a mess. And that Andy, honey, y'all gotta watch Andy. Andy be reading down and they don't be paying no attention. So they ended up going back and forth. When Kandi and Drew got started, they had a bunch of back and forth again about the whole you kissed a girl. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. You called me a liar. Now I ain't feeling like going through all that. But they went around and around and around about that again. And Kandi said, you know, I'm convinced that it's you that actually gaslights Ralph, not the other way around. Because the way you just sit up on this couch and just lie, it's just ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. And, you know, I got it. I don't know about the whole gaslighting of Ralph thing, but Ralph and Drew are big, vicious liars. They're vicious liars. It's gotten to a point where watching this, I don't really take nothing that come out of neither one of their mouths as truth. I just sit around and wait. I see the scene and then I wait to see if it fall apart somewhere else in the next 2 episodes. I don't believe either one of them. They lie. They really got that in common. They lie. And I mean, they flat out lie. They tell lies. They don't push stuff around. They lie. The both of them. Anyway, that was a mess. Kandi told her too, you're a liar and the truth ain't in you. That's all, damn. Now, Marlo cracked Drew's face when she said, well, yeah, I think that y'all be okay. I think that y'all might actually find y'all way back to each other, which everybody was saying around things that they may actually find their way back to one another. And she said, yeah, I think that could happen. And, I told Ralph that whenever he reached out to me, baby, if you see Drew's face, I said, girl, she got you, bitch. She got you. And I get it. I get why you feel like that. And let me say this to you, Marlo. Let me say this to you, sweetheart. You got her. You got her. You knocked her off her square up in there. Just like you knocked Kenya off her square with the whole you dated her little guy. You knocked her off her square as well. And then you also hit her with that Mark, you talking to Mark stuff and your phone numbers and the court records and all of this. Let me say this to you, Marlo. It's very strange how your name and your phone line keeps coming up with women in your circle when they're having it out with their men. Their men all of a sudden end up on your phone line. That ain't no good look. One time, two times, three times. Hold on. Everybody that's arguing with their man, all of a sudden, the man is reaching out to you, or y'all done had some reason to have a little chat. Girl, it's giving very much, honey. The clean up woman is a woman who, that's what it's giving. I don't know about that, Marlo. And every time you do it and it comes up like that, girl, I'm nervous and I'm trembling. What is going on, Marlo? Who you letting come on in? It's too much. And I don't know if y'all caught that, but I caught it. I'm like, every time somebody's having it out with a man, here you go. That ain't no good look. Especially when the rumor about you is that you is a prostitute. That ain't, girl, I don't know about that. That ain't no good look. That is not a good look. And then the whole thing with Kenya and her dating the other guy. And some folks don't understand why Kenya's upset. I get it, because nobody wants to be dating the guy that we call, the guys who done dated the girl that we call a prostitute in the group. So that's kind of, it's like, ew, you know what I mean? But Kenya won't let it go. Kenya keeps trying to go into this whole thing of why their situation didn't work. And don't nobody say that his mouth was no prayer book either, because we don't know him. The fact is that he sees it for her. He sees it for her. And he did at one point. He was attracted to her, or he never took her out, Kenya. So either you're going to swallow it and move on with what you're doing, or leave it alone. Leave it alone. She had him first. You're second. I don't care what you say or how you say he felt. It don't matter. The facts are he was there first. He was there first. No matter what they did or didn't do, he was there first. Period. So you can't take that away. But I mean, I get it. Who wants to date behind somebody that people say is a prostitute? Nobody. And that just kind of is what that is. And I'm not saying that I believe that she's a prostitute or any of that, but I'm glad she finally did admit to sleeping with Scottley. I'm like, girl, if you waiting, you wasting your time. Bitch, you old. You old, just like me. Bitch, what we waiting on? What we waiting on? 500 years old. Oh, I'm just waiting for what? You ain't got nothing that's new and unused. So what is you waiting on? You trying to entertain us? You ain't entertaining me. Go on and do what you do, boo. It's silly. Anyway, moving on. Here comes Courtney. And Courtney came and sat down. And as soon as she sat down, I said, she's a whole clown. She's a whole clown. She came out and she gave everything. I feel vindicated, because I've been saying all season that they're not cousins, and they're not cousins. They are not cousins, not at all. There's no blood there at all. There wouldn't be blood there if her and Ralph cut themselves right now. They're not cousins. She said, it's my dad's sister, which would be her aunt, is married to Ralph's uncle. That don't make you and Ralph cousins. You and Ralph are not cousins. Now, ghetto rule and what go on at family reunions, yeah, y'all will be calling yourself cousins and stuff if you wanted to, but y'all are not cousins. Y'all are not cousins at all. And it ain't no fake cousin. Y'all aren't cousins. That's it. You all are not related. You're no relation. And I go right back to what I said. I ain't never thought you was a cousin. I always thought that you was a jump off from the beginning. And I still feel like that. And the way that you come in and the way you be going at Drew, it says jump off. It don't say cousin. And then y'all didn't know each other. Y'all just met. It says jump off. That's what it says. And to want to bring somebody around like that, and she does all his dirty work. All his dirty work. Everything he want to say, you saying it. Now don't say cousin. Not no cousin that you won't even know. Don't say cousin. That say jump off. That sound like, well, every time I hear Courtney talking to Drew, even her attitude toward Drew, it says to me, I done laid up with your husband and now I'm getting ready to have him all to myself. Now, I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but that's what I hear whenever she opened up her mouth. I've been having your husband and now I'm going to have him all to myself. That's what I get. Sorry, not sorry. That's what I get. And you sitting over there with that same stuff. Drew got right in her neck at toward the end of this episode. They was popping off. And Drew told her, don't you ever speak on my child again. And she said, I didn't speak on your child. I said, look, see, she a liar too. I didn't speak on your child. And here come old Andy, but you did. I said, Andy shady, but you did. I said, now roll the footage. You know how they usually do. And they did. And Drew told her, you dumb bitch, you didn't realize the camera was running. Well, after she got busted, because she kept saying, what are you talking about? I ain't saying nothing about your kid. That. And did you all notice how everything switched over after Andy busted her out? She went right back to nasty and going to tell her, well, whatever, girl, what you going to do about it? What's going to happen? This, that, thing, and the other. And then Drew told her, you didn't know the camera was on. She going to say, I knew the camera was running. And I said it more than once. I said, oh. I said, wow, is anybody paying attention? Just a hot mess. A hot mess. And for me, it really does say, I've been having your husband, and I'm going to have him full time, and I'm going to make you pay. I'm going to make you pay. I'm going to drag you while I have your husband all to myself because I'm tired of sharing him with you. That's what it gave to me. And sound like a choking is in order for me. And I said, being around playing in my face. Oh, and here's the other thing. Speaking of lies, Mariana, I wasn't going to let you slide by and don't get you together because we leaned on what you said, took you at your word, because you put it out there. Oh, yeah, the whole thing about Ty. And she said, yes, she said she was going on over there and she's going, and Ty was her crush and this, that, and the other. And now you come back and you telling her, oh, yeah, that was all a joke. Really, Mariana? Really? Now, that didn't make you look too good either. That didn't make you look too good because you already know you're dealing with a liar. And you sitting there playing. So it just seemed to me like this little piece right here, like in the last couple of weeks, you and Drew done got cool. Y'all all right. So now you're going to come in here and switch it up. Sounds like a little backpedaling the pussy popping to me. And I don't really care for that, Mariana. I like your jumpsuit, but I don't like backpedaling the pussy popping. And that's how I felt. So yeah, I had to give you a little taste. Don't you come back in here pedaling backwards. Ain't your calves hurting? A mess. Let me go. I'm going to get up out of here. That's basically all that really went down in this little part of it. Let me say this. I was thinking. See how the seating arrangements was, and people sitting the closest to Andy was Drew and Sheree, which was kind of odd, okay? Drew and Sheree. I was sitting there thinking, now you know there's supposed to be this whole shakeup and everybody's getting fired, supposed to be getting fired, and they think about recasting this whole thing. It just swung past my head. I said, now the only people on here this season, who really had storylines was Sheree, which Martell was her storyline, and she had the new grandbaby. And she was on her journey, her medical journey. Then you had Drew. She did a movie. She released a song. She fought just damn near everybody. She is going through a divorce. Kenya ain't really had no storyline this season. Marlo's storyline is fighting Kandi. Kandi's half of the time not around. That's part of her storyline that she's never around. The whole thing about the movie and her and Todd actually was the support for Drew's storyline. Sonia, okay, yeah, it's cool. You having a baby, so you know the whole housewife thing. That's cool, but no storyline really. Um, wouldn't it be the worker if they did do a shakeup and a recast and they let everybody go except for Drew and Sheree? I don't know why my mind did that, but my mind did that before I turned the camera on, and I was like, I wonder. I said that would be something different. Now, it would be so different. It would be so different that, because I'm gonna ask y'all to put in the comments how you feel about it. How would you feel if they literally got rid of all the old heads and kept Sheree and kept Drew, or maybe just Drew and maybe Sonia? How would you feel about that? Would you still keep watching? And I'm gonna tell y'all honestly, I can't say that I would keep watching. I cannot say that I would keep watching. And on that, I'm out of here. This is part one of the reunion. I'll catch y'all next week because there are only two parts. So I'll catch y'all next week with the next part. But think about that and put it in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. I know y'all going to tell me some of the stuff y'all think about the other stuff that I just said. But that little thing, tell me what you think about the shakeup. If it was to shake up like that, would you stay in that grocery store? Later, y'all.